Welcome to another video of Uni Managing Tasks course. Last week we talked about how to deal with the first week and the introduction to Uni, and you went to orientation. Now we are in a week two. The honeymoon phase of the orientation is over and the real work begins. Today we're going to talk about your choice. Choice, will you want to be a leader, or you want to be a follower or a dragger? I'm going to bless you right away. Choose it now, because I'm going to give you a journey from dragger to leader, how you can have strategy for your academic mastery, and little bit routine from week two onwards. We'll be talking about time management later, but at this stage, we'll be talking about your classroom role or lecture theater role. We're using a classroom as a general word. Basically, in lecture theater, you can choose to be a leader who's proactive, and they know what's coming before the lecture or a learning activity or assessment. Even these activities start because they organize, they have things in a calendar, they look at what's tomorrow in my uni, and they take care of from even the activity start. On the other side, follow the leader's footsteps or copy what others are doing or what's on the board. So when they see somebody leader doing it in the morning, they come, they will follow them. Where the draggers are the one really you don't want to be, where they come late, they know when they reach to the lecture theater, know what subject they are in, because they're not prepared, they're not organized. And our goal is to help you become leaders. And we give you bit by bit with your practice, where you command your education. And this is basically start with the 3 steps. All right. You should know how the learning happens. The learning is happen predominantly. It might vary subject to subject. So first you get the theory, the concepts, because every subject follows the same pattern. You learn about theory in the lecture or in slides or in videos. Then you practice those concepts, those science ideas in tutorials or self-study or lab or practical, depends on the subject. And then the third is most important, where the real learning happens is a application, where you independently supposed to be independently apply them in the assignments and tell about them in the exam. All right, because that's what you're getting ready. So many people ask, are we learning something? I don't know where it is in a practical world it's going to be used for. I'll give you a very tiny example. Let's say you're learning in early days of year 3, 4, you're learning about multiplication. That is how multiplication happens. You learn about tables. And then teacher gives you 50 questions of exercise with the different numbers and different sizes of the number to practice them. And then ideally, he should be sending you a market with the money to buy 12 dozen of oranges. That will be the real application. If he doesn't, then you should do it. When parents ask you, okay, how much money do you need to buy 12 dozen of oranges? The first thing you go, how much per dozen cost normally? So that's the application, because if you know table and mass and all that, but you can't buy the thing with those theory and practice, that knowledge is not this meaningless, because there's a cognitive learning theory behind it. Because it's easier to learn when you know a little bit about the subject before the lecture starts. When we go to discussion and you don't know what they're talking about, you don't get a hang of it. As compared to somebody give you context, when you go somewhere, you do it, then you understand a bit better. And that's why we all encourage leaders learn or flick through the topic or a practice or a lecture slides before they come to the learning space. Because cognitive theory, as I said, your neurons make connection faster when they have already hooks open to hang new information on. I hope you understand. It's a whole new topic, but just remember, if you know something, half of it, the next extra half or extension will be easy to remember. All right. So it's very important you spend 10-15 minutes before you come into lecture theater or before the night before is ideal. Skip through the slide, see what's important there, and identify. You will see that the 50% you already know, because there'll be just basic information. And then the 50% will be new or a little bit, you say, look, yeah, these are the questions I have. So within that, there'll be a hard question, which will be not much, 10 to 20%. And that is your real learning. And you should prepare a question for that. Why? Because These are the questions will be coming to your exam, the assessment, and projects. So these are the ones you're targeting there to learn. This is your real learning, a new learning. So don't leave a lecture room until you don't have solution. And even you have to follow the lecture after the thing. So can you please help us? I still don't understand and all that. If not, get an appointment. If go to tutor and say, look, I still have these issues. Once you get the answer for those, and if your assignment already been released, you can straight away apply there. We talk about assignments in another next part when we get there. There's another misconception. People say, oh, I attended the lecture theater, I done the tutorial session or practical session or lab session, I'm done for it. And the rest of things they leave to the week before the exam. This is a very, very important slide from my point of view. The previous ones were okay too. It's a new thing you need to learn that you got to be a leader, proactive. And this one is very important. Every subject has a credit hour. This is many people don't know credit hour mean that the number of hours you should spend on the subject. So if it's a 10 credit hour or 6 credit hour, means 6 hours they're expecting you to spend on. So if we say lecture is 2 hours, 2 hour tutorial and 1 hour lab, it'll be 5 hours or 6 hours. Where the rest of the 6 or 4 hours will go. That's the time you need to spend revising the lectures, preparing your tutorial, and applying an assignment on a week to week basis, on a weekly basis. Not just wait for the last day or week to work on it. But learning happens permanent when you do in chunks. Very important. Note down somewhere. Like a human eat, you can't have 3 weeks of food in one go. You will get a diarrhea. Rather than you just eat, if you really want good muscle, eat 3 times or 2 times, whatever you will get better digestion and you enjoy it more as well. And so that vomiting approach wants to be lasting. You might get marks and get pass and think, but in a real life, you won't remember anything because you just swallowed it and spit it in the assignment you got. So better to do your assignment and assessment weekly basis along with the other thing, using 3 steps we did. So many people say, look, we don't have assessment, demand for it. But remember in unit online, only the due dates are mentioned, not the release date. So if they don't ask for it, whoever asks for it, lecturer feel very good about it. A unit coordinator, as subject in charge, feel very good about it. And also ask for the template or sample assignment. Rubric is very, very important, the marking criteria. So you know what's they're targeting, especially the exceptional or that's what you're targeting. You're a leader. You want to know what's the high distinction requirement or 80 plus one. You don't need to be 99%. Just above 80% is all good. So link every week's lecture tutorial practice to piece of assignment. That's what I'm saying. We talk about assignment. I keep saying it because that's a different topic. And you'll be happy to learn the techniques we develop over the years. So that's about it. Your daily routine is about coming to 10 minutes early to prime your brain by skimming the topics. Then highlight a hard question, a smart question. Don't leave until you get it the extra 10 minutes. Now save 10 hours later when you have tomorrow's submission and you don't know the answer to those questions. And use digital notes as much you can, digital tools as much you can. We talk about separately as well. What's the benefit of having your learning with you through mobile and laptop using internet? There's a huge time saving. We talk about in time management. Get to there. All right. So that's where we conclude here, where you're transforming your learning from remembering to internalizing. Internalizing when you understand and apply it. So remember, reading and remembering is the story of the past. Application is the future. Write that quote down. People who still memorize things, I don't know how they survive. Bring me a subject, history, or anything which say, look, we have to memorize. I'll transform it to for application. Okay. So have a good one. We finish another video and see you next time.
I hope you liked the video and you want ready to go beyond the videos. Join our full self-study master course for the complete 12-week structured semester curriculum. Unlock the professional templates, charters, and checklists you need to lead your uni studies. Click the link in the description for exclusive discount code and start your uni study successfully.